If you're looking into buying Call of Duty Vanguard for the Xbox One or the PS4, do not do that. Let me be like the probably 12th person that said here on this platform to say do not do that, because it is essentially a Mondo Dookie on the chest of every gamer that the developers seem to not really care about. Because I played the beta on both versions of PS4 and PS5 on both weekends, because I just got the PS5 over this past weekend. And I gotta say, it is a huge difference from just gameplay, graphics, really overall performance. I think some of the performance issues still exist, but not as bad as I think the PS4 or the previous generation versions. Let me put it in your minds like this for the people that do understand what I'm talking about. Think of it kind of similar how Black Ops 3 or Advanced Warfare was when they released it for the next gen and the previous gen. The previous generation kind of got screwed because nothing was in the game and the graphics were awful. It didn't perform as well. It was basically like unplayable, and it was very clearly a cash grab. Not saying that I think this is a cash grab and it's just a clear like they're trying to slowly phase out the previous generation, but the performance issues are like out of control. Essentially, if you're playing on the previous generation games or consoles, you are so far behind. Like, here's the PlayStation 5 gameplay and here's the PlayStation 4 gameplay. Very clear differences in graphics, the rendering, overall like smoothness of gameplay. It is bizarre that they even let this happen, because again, if you're trying to compete against someone on a new console, you're screwed. You're never going to be able to do that. And in playing that over that weekend where it was just PlayStation only, I'm going to just say buckle up, buckaroo, because it is essentially an absolute nightmare. Because yes, both games have a lot of latency issues. Yes, they have a lot of just weird glitches that you'll experience. Again, that is the beta version of the game, but to be honest, like, there are some pretty clear issues in terms of, like, when I was trying to kill a guy, it was very bizarre how he saw me from miles away, and I never could be able to do that. But if I'm playing on the PlayStation 5, everything is a lot more crisper, a lot more clearer, and I can see a lot more guys in my field of vision, where it felt like as though I couldn't do that, especially thanks to TikTok, because it was a big thing in helping get the right settings for the PS4, that I had to like kind of dick around with the settings, which I should not have had to do, in order to get an optimized experience to play this game. Which, again, if these settings are in the game, they should at least be able to I should be able to use these settings throughout the entire experience, not have to dick around with them and say, well, I don't like this. Well, this is going to screw up my game, that kind of whole deal. Like, that's dumb. That is silly. I don't know why people end up having to do that, but that's a very flawed game in my opinion. The smoothness of gameplay is very bizarre as well, because it some reason feels like the game on PlayStation 4 is very clunky. Controls aren't that great. Nothing feels really like fluent or smooth, which kind of goes with smooth like gameplay, but like it felt like certain gunfights or even just moving around certain maps was not that easy to do. I didn't fully understand that at all, because it felt like when I was going around corners, it kind of felt like I was fighting the game to do things. Since I'm already bitching about the game, by the way, like, the death machine is insane in this game. It is very bizarre, like, that why this is in the game, especially with the flame juggernaut. Like, it comes with explosive rounds, which basically, if you are shooting someone across the map, you are essentially wiping an entire team, and you're just getting constant hit marker noises.
Incoming grenade!
Which I want to add does seem a little BS, because I'm essentially taking people out across the map with explosive rounds. There are people who are just starting to round corners. It's not fair. It's unbalanced. I get it's a kill streak and you want them to be satisfying and rewarding, but this is insane and should be like kind of patched, or at least a little nerfed, just so that people can at least do things in the game. Because if you're playing especially objective game modes, you are locking down sections of the map for like the longest period of time. So it's only a 5 kill streak. I think it should be a little bit higher, but that's just me. I'm not a developer, but I think the developers should listen to that idea. One thing I did want to bring up, because I thought it was a little weird and I still haven't experienced it yet, is the sun is, I guess, overpowered in this game, which is very bizarre to hear. But apparently on the map Eagle's Nest, like, it is unbearable and you can't even see anybody at all. This doesn't seem like it has affected me at all in my gameplay, so it might be something that's more affected on like the newer consoles and stuff like that. But again, playing on my PlayStation 5, haven't seen it. So, and I'm not trying to flex here by saying I got a PlayStation 5, but I'm also trying to flex and say I got a PlayStation 5. But again, the whole thing is I didn't see it. I haven't really experienced it. I've been playing Eagle's Nest a ton. I think it's one of the best maps in the entire beta. But also, while I was waiting for this, I've been following this whole like weird murder thing on TikTok, and it is insane. If you're not following that, probably should go check that out. I would like to add that playing this on the PS4 does make it sound like it's either going to spontaneously combust or just fucking explode, because I don't think this has the power to run this game at all. It does this with Warzone all the time. basically just sounds like one vacuum that is just never ending. It's pretty terrifying. Yeah, but I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like, what do you think of the PS5 and Xbox One, PS4, Xbox Series X versions? Do you think there's a huge difference between the two? Or do you think there's no difference at all and you're just kind of vibing anyway? I still think if you're playing on the other versions, like if you're playing on the newer consoles, you're probably going to be a lot better off. If you're playing on the previous generation versions, you are totally screwed and you're not getting the bang for your buck. And I think you should just hold out until you get a newer console because it is ridiculous. I think there's just not enough for this game to be kind of a good previous generation version. I think you're going to be just automatically behind. But that's all I got. Let me know in the comment section what you think. If you enjoyed the video, then, you know, give it a thumbs up. If not, it doesn't get any better than this. So, all right, bye.